We are ready to talk about Review and Preview 6.2.1 Part 2. For question 74, they give you two expressions and ask you to decide if they are equivalent. A lot like what you saw in Part 1, you can pick a value for x, use that to substitute into the expressions, see if you get the same thing to tell you whether or not they are equivalent. Or on both of these, you can distribute through the parentheses, combine like terms, and simplify to help make that decision also. Question 75 asks you to evaluate the expressions. They give you value for the variables, so you start by substituting those values, follow order of operations, and make sure you express what your answer is, the value that you get for A, B, and C. On question 76, it says for each of the following parts, write the completed set of fractions on your paper. So for part A, if you are supposed to make fractions close to 0, we're looking to see how many 16ths, how many tenths. You want a very small value to make it close to 0. Then the second fractions have numerators, and it's up to you to decide on the denominators. So when I'm looking for your answers on A, B, and C, I want to see the whole fraction represented for each of the 4 that they give you. So how many 16ths, how many tenths? Write the whole fraction for all 4 on A, B, and C. There is an extra label for part D. You can mark that off. There is no part D on your answer sheet. Question 77 asks you to include a sketch and a number sentence to describe what's going on and to answer the question. So in part A, if it asks you how many fifths are in a whole, start by diagramming a whole, divide it into fifths, and then tell me how many pieces there would be as part of your division sentence. On part B, start by modeling 2 1/3. On part C, start by modeling 4. You're going to have to divide it into fifths, but we're putting them in groups of 2. So how many 2/5 can fit into your 4? So I'm looking for your model, and I'm looking for your division sentence along with your answer. On question 78, it asks what portion of a dollar is represented by the information, and they ask for both a fraction and a percent. As an example, if it said, one of these said 2/4, well, 2/4 is 50 cents. So the portion of a dollar as a fraction would be 50 out of 100, or 1/2 if we simplify it. And then if it's 50 out of 100, 50 cents, the percent would just be 50%. So don't forget, on A through F, you have to have both a fraction and a percent.